So you all really like Trina Vega?
Yeah. She was awesome.
See, that wasn't just a lucid dream you couldn't control. Victorious really is back under a new title, Hollywood Arts. In a way, it feels like Nickelodeon was the main teacher and Netflix is coming in as a substitute, trying to convince us that this will be a better experience than our normal day-to-day. And given all the meme references, musical numbers, and returning cast members, you can't deny it just feels like it's taking up from where Victorious left off. But is that necessarily a good thing? I decided to compile the green and red flags I've experienced from this entire trailer and figure out how I'm really supposed to feel about the new Victorious revival Hollywood Arts. So why don't you guys join me as we try to figure out your feelings? It's almost like a therapy session. Let's get into it.
Attention, student!
Hate to admit it, but we start with a green flag. Helen from Drake and Josh being a part of this is obviously a good sign. I did not expect to be this excited off the bat, but this is definitely a shot that gives me positive vibes. I'm immediately confused about, like, how open the school is now that we don't have, like, our normal sitcom sets. Like, are they taking this too cinematically seriously right off the bat? Okay, I'm gonna have to give this one to them, though. Are you ready? Hate to call out this super quickly, but the music's not giving me very Victorious vibes. It's giving me very Camp Rock 3 vibes, which if you didn't see, I already covered that. It was, kind of crazy.
Honeysuckle lavender, the rumors are true?
Oh, it's like, it's back and more homeless than ever. Obviously, you got some more points for me. This is definitely a good sign. One of my favorite characters, but definitely one of the most red flag and concerning characters, which is ironic that we're giving him a green flag here. Honestly, it's the way they go about Psychowitz that's gonna be the major contributor here. Like, does he improvise some of his lines? Because I feel like this guy knows the character more than anybody, and if he's improvising, I trust him. Are you ready?
We're getting world famous pop stars. Tori Vega is a star!
The fact that Tori Vega is a star in this universe is hilarious to me, especially the fact, out of all main characters like Ariana Grande putting out a new album, Liz Gillies working with Seth MacFarlane, Beck being in that new TV show, it's just so funny to think that it all lands on Tori once again. I don't know why, that does actually ring red flag, but I definitely put this in a positive corner for this one. Green flag all the way, guys. This is such a funny concept to me. Red flag of it all is the fact that they're doing the same thing a lot of these revivals do, which is following new, younger kids, and the past ones are already famous. Like, it's just kind of crazy. It does make sense for the Victorious universe, but why again?
Are you ready for it? Even better, you got me! Tori's sister! Trina Vega!
It's well, Helen, this woman is making me sad.
Low-key, Trina's entrance on this is really funny. I think the fact that we're looking down on her immediately is definitely in the spirit of the original show, but that's where I get to my red flag moment, because I don't think the cynical spirit of the original show needs to be revived here. I think that's where it gets a little too much. I don't know how they're gonna counteract it, whether it's like story-wise or what have you. But if this becomes like another show about people bullying other people casually, I'm not gonna be super here for it. I mean, it's just not closed to how they're going to balance it, but you know, this is not a good start for me.
Welcome to the world's premier performing arts high school.
Sup, boys?
Okay, green flag for me is that the main character's a redhead. That's definitely new, and I like that a lot. I don't know why. It just seems like an aesthetically pleasing choice, especially since we had fake redhead in the first show. I'm looking at you, Ariana Grande. Not in negative light, it's just kind of like a fact. Again, they're doing that thing that these revivals are doing where they just get lookalikes to the original characters, but just different enough that you don't associate them. They did this with that 90s show too, and it was uncomfortably realistic. It's like, there's a point where it gets too familiar to the last series that you compare it directly to it, and I don't want to have to do that the whole time. It's not like a choice, I just unconsciously do it. I'm curious how the dynamics are going to play out between the girls and the boys, and also like if they're going to touch upon new gender topics. Like, that seems really important. There's a lot we just saw in the last 5 seconds. I don't even know how to address it all. But yeah, the main characters definitely were a main important thing of the original show, so it does make sense to look at this.
Emmy, you are a natural-born star.
Okay, this is interesting, how they're going to go about staging the music numbers. There's a lot of interesting camera dynamics. Also, the Renaissance Fair in the main set, like, I can't imagine what's going on here. Like, are they going to commit to this being a full musical show where they're gonna have, like, full-on numbers? Because this is a lot more different than I remember from the original series. I feel like for them, it must be really hard to avoid specifically being School of Rock, Camp Rock, any of the other performing arts related shows. That was like what the original show had in its corner, but I felt like what made it iconic was its like humor and cynicism, and now I'm just confused, like, are they gonna lean into this because they want to avoid that? And what's a boba baby? It looks like they have a new location of where they're going to be hanging out. I'm curious how this is going to come out to play. I think they must have avoided Sushi Rocks because they probably got tied to like some of the more offensive jokes. I don't know. I'm curious how that played out.
Hollywood Arts! Stars give it their all, every single time.
Drag me to the stage.
Okay, you do get points for me for an emo main character. I don't know why I didn't remember this in the first series, but this is such a good concept, because if you're going to an art school, why is there not that angsty, over-emotional character? Like, I need some representation on my middle school experience, guys. We haven't got to see a lot of the boys in this, like just this one specific quote, but it does hype me up. I think this will be like a really positive series when it comes to characters.
So you all really like Trina Vega?
She was awesome.
This one's a little complicated because it comes with a positive and a negative. The positive is that they're leaning toward a more heartfelt related series, which in turn does come with a little bit more music numbers, and we'll have to have a little bit of character compromises because obviously Trina was super unlikable in the first series. Like, she's gonna have to go a long way if she's gonna grow in this one. But the fact that they are dodging any super negative character traits is definitely a good sign. But I'll tell you what, it's not a good sign when we see so little of Psychowitz that it's pretty much this one clip. Is this going to be another one of those shows where the main characters are just going to be the bait and switch, you know, like they're just going to throw them in every now and then to have a little bit to keep us watching, but then make 90% of the showtime the new characters? I'm just always confused how they balance out new versus old, and like why they're trying to give a new show identity, but confused why the audience doesn't need to see the original cast. Like, it just feels different. But since it's not a Victorious titled project, it does make me feel like it's fair to not expect them to come back so often, but this definitely gives me the impression that Psychowitz is barely going to be in it, Helen's going to barely be in it, and everybody else is going to make one individual appearance. I'm sorry. I'm not looking forward to just that experience.
I'm becoming exactly who I'm supposed to be.
I think I'm gonna like it here.
So we got 6 green flags, not too shabby, definitely more than I thought I would have about this entire series. It's really confusing to think that there was only one apart from the red flags. Yeah, the red flags had 7, so gosh, I don't even know how I'm supposed to feel about this trailer, because clearly there was just as much negative vibes as there was positive vibes, and I don't know if I'm just a hater or too cynical for some of these revivals. They just feel like overdone, and I can't tell if they're gonna surprise me or detract me. I can't say I didn't like the iCarly revival. I genuinely did think they did a good job at bringing back the characters, and for what it was, like, it was a pretty genuinely funny show. That's different though, because it was the exact title of the show, and so everything had to kind of remain intact for it to make sense, and this one is genuinely like a revival that is different. Given I grew up feeling less of an attachment to Victorious, I wonder if I'm even going to give it any more leeway, or if I'm going to go in with a really negative mindset. I can't tell. I don't know what I'm supposed to feel about this whole thing, and it looks like I don't even have to worry about it until October, 2 months out, which is not a super long wait. Oh, and also just the fact Netflix above Nickelodeon, like, it's just interesting thinking where we're at culturally when it comes to consuming TV. You know, like back then we would come home, put put on our cable, and then whatever was on was on. That's the 2000s lifestyle. But here we're in the streaming era, where the complete choice is up to us, and we don't watch an episode again if we don't like it. We don't have time to be grown onto this new vibe that we're not used to. And something about Netflix makes it a little less familiar to me. Like, it feels like a fan-made show in some worlds, where I can logically admit that's just coming from an emotional place. Like, I don't know how to actually attach that to something logical that we're talking about, but it is something to consider. Like, Netflix-related shows are different, especially when it comes to Nickelodeon Netflix-related shows. I'm talking to you, Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's just something really important to consider. You know, like, it's just weird seeing Victorious associated with the end from Netflix. It feels like a different vibe. But it's definitely going to be enough to sway my opinion in both directions and have a lot more thoughts on it as time goes on. And I'm also curious about how all of you guys experienced this trailer for the first time. Having it come out only a couple hours ago, what do you guys think are going to be the red and green flags of the series going forward? Give me more to think about. Also, if you haven't seen it yet, or you're new to my channel, my name is Johnny2000. I make 2000s content, nostalgia, and experiences that I had growing up, and I'd love for you to join us. If you want to see my iCarly revival retrospectives, I do feel like there's a lot of insight that could be given based on what we're ready to experience here for Hollywood Arts. Like, it's not the perfect comparison one-to-one, but I do think it's helpful. And with rumors of them coming out with a new movie, I do think it's nice to brush up on some of your old sitcoms. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I can't wait to learn more with you guys. Have a great day.